Hey, I'm Viral, CPO and co-founder of Riff. It's the first AI that builds real apps for work. Riff is for you to build apps connected to your tech stack, apps that help you solve everyday problems you face at work. Let me show you how.
All right, we've popped on over to Riff.ai to build our app for work. So you can get started with your idea right away, but if you don't know where to begin, Riff gives you a use case library filled with inspiration for sales, finance, marketing, operations, support, you name it. But what we're gonna do is get started with the prompt box and build a sales pipeline dashboard. That's something that is useful for lots of sales teams, sales leaders to know what's going on in their sales pipeline. Somehow, nobody's really managed to figure this out in a good way. And right from the prompt box, you can actually add integrations to connect to the tech stack that you have. In our case, we use Hubspot, and I think a lot of others do too. So we're gonna add Hubspot here, and we get started. So you get tossed into the product right away. This is where you start planning your app. Riff talks to you about your app idea and also asks clarifying questions based on the gaps that you've left in your description so far. In this case, I was pretty clear. Also, it's a pretty defined type of app as a sales pipeline dashboard, especially on top of HubSpot. So kind of has a clear set of features already that are important in a sales pipeline, which is mentioned in this plan card. You can see here, it's going to have a visual pipeline funnel showing deals by stage with conversion rates, filterable views by date range, owner, and deal properties. And it also mentions that HubSpot will be integrated into it. I could share this plan with other salespeople I know, or kind of people on my team that could benefit from building something like this. I think it's super cool. And it's also easy just to edit my plan here. But what I'm going to do is actually just start building. In here, kind of, we do a lot of work. It's really nice because the first version that gets generated is something that looks a lot exactly like what I'm going to want. I can, of course, edit it however I want with the UI and so on. But the next thing I'll do right after it's built is actually connect HubSpot. So let's let this work its magic, and we'll start talking about the HubSpot integration right after. All right. So we're entering the workspace now. The agent will kind of update us on what's been going on. See, the app here is named HubSpot Sales Pulse. It's letting me know that it's already created a functional landing page with UI components, and the design system is ready. So the next thing it tells me to do is to connect to HubSpot and fetch sales deals. Makes a lot of sense. Now it's loading up kind of the preview over here. All right, fantastic. So this is kind of the dummy data version, mock data of kind of the sales pipeline that we're going to build. I can, of course, shoot in a prompt to make this, dark theme, change the layout, but I'm going to start with test 2. Let's do it. So that means that we're going to move on and start integrating HubSpot right away. Before we built this HubSpot integration, the thing is that it would take hours and hours of back and forth with the agent to actually code it up correctly. But this is a one-click integration that lets you just sign in directly into HubSpot. All right, here we go. Connect to HubSpot. It even tells me what it's going to read. So I don't have to really worry about kind of other stuff getting in there. Fantastic. All right. So I'm going to connect this. Of course, it's not Riff's HubSpot. It's a HubSpot that we set up specifically for demoing. And now it's actually connecting both the backend of the application to HubSpot, and also it will start fetching data and understanding that data so it can connect it back into this UI. So you don't really have to think about kind of how this is all constructed together. The agent knows how this app is built, how the UI works, and also kind of how to connect the data that it's fetching back into the UI. All right, so it's showing me a sample of the data that it's fetching from HubSpot. So I know as a salesperson, if this is correct. Looks good to me. We're working with a lot of candy companies over here. All right, fantastic. All right. Let's connect the HubSpot data that's real to the UI that's been built so far. So now you'll see right now the mock data says $5.1 million in total pipeline. This is really cool. I mean, it's actually incredible that in, I don't know, 6-7 minutes, I'm building a full working dashboard on top of real HubSpot data. And from there, I can go anywhere, right? All right. The total pipeline dropped significantly to the real number, from over 5 million to $124,000. And it looks like we're getting the right data in. Fantastic. All right. So now there's a lot of different directions I can go. Because Riff is built for actual business applications, it's pretty cool. So right now I have a dashboard that I can look at every now and then, but it doesn't really have data that's up to date. It has the data that it's fetched and a snapshot of that. So one thing that we can do is we can auto sync data from HubSpot to this application every 15 minutes. So right now, like it says, it refreshes automatically and load the page. They can automatically sync it so it updates regularly. The other thing that I can do is also afterwards connect it to Slack, so it'll send notifications every day on how the sales pipeline is doing. And lastly, I could build in an AI assistant into the application so I can ask questions. So let's start out with, let's sync the data automatically every 15 minutes with a scheduled job. All right, so let's see what's going on with those schedules. Okay, it's still working. All right. Let's see here. So now it's syncing, and it also has created a schedule that it will shoot off. It will sync with the database every 15 minutes. Amazing. And therefore, whenever anybody gets into this app, it will be up to date. And we can also add a schedule in the same way to shoot notifications to Slack. But what I'll do here is add an AI assistant to this application that answers user questions about the data. Let's see here. Let's do a chat widget on the bottom right corner. There are questions about the database deeply, and those questions seem good. All right, so it's asking for my OpenAI API key, which I can submit securely. Let's open this up. I'm gonna pause the video while I go and get my key. All right, I'm back with my API key. Let's send that in. Now let's just let it cook for a little bit. While this is working, I just want to mention that it's really easy to make your app secure. So all you have to do is click on these. And if you click to enable authentication, these pages and also the backend, which is what's shooting data back and forth between systems, they will be behind an auth wall, which means you have to log in to access them, which means that you're not going to have any data leaks. We take it really seriously. All right. Oscar chat widget is here. Whoa. I'm your sales data assistant. All right, let's see here. Who closed the most deals? Okay, there. Let's try again. All right, let's try again. Who closed the most deals? This is way cooler than actually clicking around. The top performer in closing deals associated with a total of 17 deals. Oh, we don't have the owner's name. All right. Well, we can fix that later, but you get it. Now we're going to deploy. Everyone automatically gets a subdomain here. Easy to deploy. Like I mentioned, the security is really easy, and then you just click deploy. I can invite other people from my team. All right, there you have it. The app is deployed. The schedule is running. Data is being synced. The dashboard runs on HubSpot data. You can ask the AI assistant for questions on your HubSpot data, and you could take this anywhere you want from here. You can add QuickBooks data to add more financials, Notion data to add kind of team collaboration that's been happening around deals. The opportunities are limitless, so we're just really excited to see what you guys build with Riff.